So yesterday was the franchise tag deadline, and there were 9 different tags given out around the NFL. The Packers, of course, were not one of them. There were no players they thought worthy of the franchise tag. And of course, the franchise tag is for guys who are going to become unrestricted free agents, and the teams put the tag on them so that they don't hit the open market. It gives them an ability to keep that player in whichever team they're on for the time being, and if they want to give them some kind of contract, they can have, I think, till maybe mid-July to work out a contract. But the Packers did not have any free agents they thought worthy of a franchise tag, and for this tag, it averages out among the top 5 of that position how much they're being paid, so you have to pay up a lot for these players. And so one guy who I think has been on the Packers radar, at least Packers fans' radar, we don't know what the Packers are actually thinking, but Xavier McKinney, safety of the New York Giants, was not franchise tagged yesterday. And so that means that he is going to become a free agent. And we all know the Packers need a safety. There is a big need in that room with Savage, Rudy Ford, and Jonathan Owens all scheduled to become free agents in the next week or so. The Packers need a lot of safeties. They need to add multiple safeties in this room. And honestly, safety does seem like the most likely position. If the Packers were to add a free agent, it would probably be at safety. And so considering Xavier McKinney is one of the better safeties in the NFL, one of the better safeties on the market, it is interesting that he is now available. There's no doubt, though, he's going to be expensive, but the Packers, they may find it worth paying Xavier McKinney. So according to PFF, they have him as the 4th highest graded safety in 2023. Let me read this right here from PFF. McKinney put together the best season of his NFL career, leading the position in tackling grade, 89.1, and coverage grade, 91.2. He recorded 26 total stops with a 6% missed tackle rate, tied for second among safeties with at least 50 tackles. McKinney ranked in the top 10 in passer rating allowed, 53, and a first down/touchdown rate, 24.5%, while surrendering only 0.6 yards per coverage target in the red zone. Jeff Hafley, Packers' new defensive coordinator, noted in his press conference the great importance of the safety on his defense, and the Packers need to bring in a safety. My question is, will the Packers really spend up on one of the best safeties available out there, or is Gutekunst going to do the thing where he goes in, finds like a bargain guy who he can pay a somewhat reasonable contract and hope that player can reach some heights they haven't reached elsewhere? Guys like Rasul Douglas in the past signed up a practice squad. Devondre Campbell brought in for I think like $2 million a year, and he becomes an all-pro linebacker in 2021 right after Brian Gutekunst brings him into Green Bay. I'm just wondering which route Brian Gutekunst is going to take, and I think the more flashy, exciting move is to sign a guy like Xavier McKinney, and I think it's a possibility considering the Packers do have some cap space, but we can't rule out them signing some random safety because that sort of seems to be like the moves that the Packers make from time to time. And the question is, how much does Xavier McKinney think he's worth? And I came across this interesting quote from him back in January 10th, 2024. He said this to the New York Post. This is from X, shared by Ryan Dunleavy. And it said, Giants, Xavier McKinney headed to free agency. Great interview with Mark Cannizzaro. And this is what McKinney said. I'm the most complete safety out there, and it's about time for some respect to that too. I don't think nobody's on my level, end of quote, versatility-wise. And if we look at the safety market, the highest paid safety right now is Chargers' Derwin James when it comes to a yearly average of $19 million. You look down from there, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Steelers, $18.2 million per year. Antoine Winfield Jr., $17 million. I think that's the franchise tag. And then Jesse Bates and Harrison Smith at $16 million. So it's very possible that it would cost anywhere from $16 to probably $20 million to bring in Xavier McKinney. He is 24 years old, so he's still a very young player. The Packers could rely on him for a long time. He could become a focal point, one of the key pieces on this Packers defense, and I think there's no doubt the Packers defense would jump to a new level with Xavier McKinney. So I personally want the Packers to sign him. I think that we can splurge on someone in this free agency. Probably would mean we don't maybe pay up for any higher tier free agents at any other position. But I think that safety probably the biggest need in the Packers defense. And so it is interesting that he wasn't tagged by the Giants. Of course, every other NFL team is going to have a chance to bring him in as well. And so the Packers would have to bid against lots of other teams in need of safety help. And so we'll see if Gutekunst is willing to, sign a big check and bring in McKinney. I would not be opposed. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you would like to stay up to date with all things Packers, feel free to subscribe, turn on the post notifications so you never miss any Packers news. and I'll see you guys next time.